Hi there and welcome to Yum Paleo. Today what I'm going to be making is something a little bit different than what we normally do. So I'm going to be making some sweet potato and spinach balls. So they'll be just being I'm going to put the sweet potato into the pot behind me, boil it through for about 10 minutes and then mush it up with the spinach and some herbs as well to go in it. And then as a side I'm going to have spinach with cherry tomatoes and button mushrooms. So I'll just run through kind of like how much we've got of each thing. So I've taken the skin off and chopped up, this is about 5 sweet potatoes, so just medium size. Now I'm cooking for quite a few people today, so you can kind of use about 1 sweet potato per person kind of thing. Then I've got a whole punnet of cherry tomatoes, which I'll be chopping up and frying in the pan for the side salad. And here I've got about 3 handfuls of spinach, which I've wilted, so I boiled some water, chucked it in there for about a minute and taken it out and just drained it off. And here I have about 3.5 ounces of spinach, which will be going into the side with the tomato and the mushroom. Now here I've got, it's about 14 ounces of butter mushrooms, so I'll be chopping those up. And once again, they'll be going in the pan to fry along with the spinach and the tomatoes. Also, for a bit of extra zest, I'm going to use the lemon zest. So I'll just be shaving that off and sprinkling it into the sweet potato and spinach balls and the side dish. Along with, you can just squeeze the lemon from the inside as well, just to give it a little extra flavour. And I'll also be using just a little bit of salt and pepper, a tiny bit of nutmeg and some thyme leaves. So to start off with, I've got a pot boiling behind me and I'm just going to chuck the sweet potato in there. And we're going to leave that to boil for about 10 minutes until it's soft and then take it back out to mash up. Okay, so we're going to leave that for about 10 minutes, so just check the time. And now we can get started on doing the side dish. So I'm just going to plug in this. Just let it heat up, and I'm also going to add a little bit of olive oil. So while that's heating up, and I'm also going to use some garlic. So I've got 2 cloves of garlic. And that'll be one will be going into the side dish and one will be going into the sweet potato and spinach balls. So I'm just going to chop up some of these butter mushrooms. I might do them into quarters actually, just so they cook a little bit quicker. Now you can use other mushrooms if you like, so you can use some portobello or shiitake mushrooms. Whatever you can get your hand on, really. So I'll be cooking this side and then taking it out and putting it into a separate bowl so that we can do the sweet potato and spinach balls in the same pan. Okay, so now I've chopped up all those mushrooms. I'm just going to add them into the frying pan. Just be careful with this. Just get them all in. And we'll just cook these for a few minutes just so they reduce down in size. So yeah, just give these a few minutes, maybe add a bit more olive oil. And once they're done, we can add in the spinach and the cherry tomatoes. So while they're sitting there, I'm just going to actually start slicing up the cherry tomatoes into halves. And also, I'm going to chop up the garlic to put in. Okay, so now those tomatoes are done. I'm actually going to wait for the mushrooms to cook a little bit longer, so Just wait till they're nice and brown. And while that's doing, might as well do the garlic. So I'm actually going to use a garlic crusher for this. Just pop those cloves in. Just make sure you get all that garlic in there. Okay, so we've got the garlic and the mushrooms in here now. So just keep cooking those through. And soon we'll be able to add in the tomatoes and the spinach. Well, while we're waiting on that, I'm actually going to get started on doing the lemon zest. So just get a grater like this and just get as much as you can off. Okay, so just put that lemon zest in there. And now I think we're ready for the tomatoes to go in. Chuck all those in. And we can start introducing the spinach. So I'm just going to do it a handful at a time. So we'll let that reduce down. We'll just turn down the temperature a bit. Brilliant, so you can already see the spinach is starting to wilt and shrink in size, which is good. Which means we can start adding the rest of it. So I might as well just chuck the whole thing in. Lovely colours coming through here. And what I'm actually going to do is chop this lemon in half and squeeze it through. So I'm just going to use a sieve so I can catch the pips. And just lovely. Get as much as you can out of that. And do the other half. Brilliant. Okay, so we can just start mixing this through again now. Just bring up the heat a wee bit if it goes down. So I'm also just going to add a bit of pepper. And a tiny bit of salt. Not too much. Also, I might as well put in the other bits. I'm just going to give it a sprinkle of nutmeg over the top. So I'd say that's about a teaspoon. And about a teaspoon thyme leaves over the top quickly. And just mix through this again. Give it a few minutes and then we'll be ready to take it out and we can get started on making the sweet potato and spinach balls. Okay, so I'm actually really happy with this side dish now. The spinach nice and wilted and is shrunk down. So what I'm going to do now is just take this out and put it into another bowl, just clean out the pan and get ready the sweet potato. So I'll see you in a few minutes when we get ready to do the sweet potato and spinach balls. Okay, so welcome back. Now I've just taken the sweet potato off and I've drained them, and we'll get ready to mashing that soon. But for the meantime, we're going to put the wilted spinach into the frying pan just to cook for a wee bit, along with some garlic and lemon zest and some thyme leaves. So I'm just going to chop up the wilted spinach quickly, just roughly. It's already really soft, so it shouldn't be too hard. And what I'm going to do is just put a bit of oil in this pan. Now we're just going to lightly cook these. So I've got that spinach done. Then I can get this. I'm going to crush the garlic as well into it. So I'm just going to put that in first. Get that garlic in. While we're here, I'm just going to chuck in all of that spinach. So we're just going to heat through this spinach and garlic just for a couple of minutes. Then we're going to add it to the mashed sweet potato. So I'm also just going to add a bit of thyme as well, which I'll also be adding into the mash. So while that's heating up, I'm going to get started on the mash. So just with a fork or a masher, it's really easy to do it now that it's been boiled. So just continue doing this until you've got a smooth consistency. Okay, so welcome back. Now, in the interim, what I've done is I've added the spinach into the mashed sweet potato, and I've already made them into some balls. So what I'm going to do is add them into the pan now. And we're going to cook them a few minutes on each side. So just add them in. So just keep turning them around until they're cooked all over. And then we'll get ready to plate up. Okay, so now the spinach and the sweet potato balls have been frying on each side for a few minutes now. So I'm just going to take a few out and put it with the side. And just get it with the mushroom, the spinach and the cherry tomato side here. And there you have it, a really yummy sweet potato and spinach balls with mushroom, spinach and cherry tomato. Really hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you here for another recipe.